Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Let's get ready to rumble! Seattle's got to make a stop. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to throw it back to Goff! Who had that on the bingo card? Touchdown Lions!
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Hello and welcome to the main event hosted by me, Smokin Jeremy B, your host for tonight, because main event Mike's on vacation. He didn't get a chance to do his pre-recorded video like he wanted. So we had one hell of a scare at the beginning of the fourth quarter there, and I have the replay video here for you. For those that haven't seen it, here it is.
Look at his head snap back as it hits the leg of Nathan Carter, and right away he was spazzing. Everyone's on a knee.
That play right there ended the game. All right, we got Austin Hacker in the chat, one of my good friends and also one of my fellow podcasters. But yeah, that was very, very scary. But luckily, he's home. He's back home. He was released and back in Detroit at Allen Park. So he's back. But let's get into the reaction of that game. Our bottom five on offense. On defense, excuse me. I'm looking at the defense first. Chris Smith, Isaac Ukwu, Mitchell Agude, Eric Hallett, and Ezekiel Turner. That's our bottom five. Our top five. And somebody I said would have a great game. Yes, Eric Whitson, go Lions. Thankfully, he's all good. Extremely. Yes, we all were. I believe what happened is when he snapped back, he hit that nerve right at the base of your skull. And that's what made him knock out instantly like that. And that was what we saw the reaction to, the whiplash reaction. He's in concussion protocol, so he won't be practicing, but he is back at the Allen Park facility. So let's be thankful that Mo Norris is good. But our top five, I'm going to start at 5. Trevor Nowaski, our tackle leader from the game. He had a 75.2 PFF rating. Rock Ya-Sin was 4th with a 78.1 in the right cornerback role. Nick Whiteside, the UFL product that we got, he was 3rd at an 84.6. Zach Cunningham, middle linebacker, also a rookie, UDFA, had an 86.5. And a guy that I was high on last year, but an injury derailed him in the preseason, Nate Lynn was our highest rated defender at right outside linebacker with an 87.2. He had 4 rush defenses, 12 pass rushes, and he's our highest pressured defensive end we've had over the last 2 games. And it makes you wonder, is bringing anybody in worth it? Because they used some of their starting offensive line. So did the Chargers, and he had pressures in that game. So I want to see this progression. I want to see if he ends up being the guy that can step up. Ahmed Hassanein left with a mild lower leg injury. He says he's fine. It's looking like a calf strain, but no confirmed word of it. So we'll see what happens then. I want to see the final determination on that. Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker is back practicing at full strength with the squad. We had our first time ever with the ones, our entire starting O-line in. Graham Glasgow at center, Tate Ratledge at right guard, Christian Mahogany at left guard, Taylor Decker at left, and Panay Sewell at right. And I heard it was glorious. Now let's go to the offensive side of the ball. In the bottom, Coyote Awasika with a 40.3. Mason Miller with a 46.6. Kenny Yeboah, 47.6. Giovanni Manu had a bad game. He had 48 total snaps. Pass blocking was 28. Run blocking was 20. He had a 47.9. And Shane Zylstra was the fifth worst one with a 52.3. And I want to explain that. He is on vacation with his wife, having the time of their life. So he asked me to host tonight so his show would go live, and I'm doing it, broski. Now our top offensive guys. Tied for fourth is Kingsley Egekune with a 73.7. Tied with him is Isaac Tesla, who has scored our touchdown in the first half with a 73.7. The next one on the list is Jackson Meeks, Zadarius Smith's nephew. He had an 83. Ronnie Bell, free agent pickup, UDFA wide receiver from the 49ers. He had an 83.6. And Kyle Allen redeemed himself in that from the second quarter on through the third. He played a half with an 86.5. So it is what it is. Colby Sorsdahl, Justin Huron, and Kenny Yeboah. All of them hit the IR today from in results of that game. Yes. He still moved people, but he just didn't do that great of a job. I'm trying to see. Okay, we did have some UFL pickups. We got Britton, who played at Western Kentucky and Auburn, entered pro football, played for the UCL DC Defenders. He's an offensive lineman. We picked him up. We got Sutherland, who went out and drafted out of Texas A&M, had made 6 NFL appearances, but most recently was for the UFL Birmingham Stranders, where he started 8 games, split time between center, guard, and left tackle. So another versatile backup. Then we picked up the running back, Oaks, who played at Eastern Michigan. And then Jackson, who averaged 3-point yards in 29 appearances, having carried it for 95 times for 283 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for the DC Defenders last year, Jackson had 8 carries for 46 yards. So those guys are probably more than likely depth than anything, but we did replace what we lost. But Justin Huron, tight end Kenny Yeboah, and Colby Sorsdahl are out for the season. Those were depth pieces, not starters. So that's what's going on for the most part. So put it in the comments. What do you want to know? I mean, I'm not saying Hendon Hooker's awful. I'm saying he's in his second year of playing, third year in the NFL. But he's in his second year of playing. He's on his second offensive playbook. Kyle Allen, on the other hand, everybody knows what he is. And he was playing third and fourth string guys. So I'm not writing off Hendon Hooker yet, but he didn't have that great of an outing, but he was 7 of 10. So 70% completion percentage. He did exactly what I wanted. He was 50% the week before, and he increased by 20%. I said I wanted to see that. Because the previous year, in his first start, he completed around the same, but increased to 68%. So I think he had a 52% and then went to a 58%. So he increased. He got better. So I'm just trying to give it real, my opinion on it, and everybody else can say what they want. But Dan Campbell, when he was asked about Hendon Hooker last season, he said what he wanted. By his third year playing in the NFL, he wanted a competent backup that could come in and start if necessary. Can't be a bust if he didn't play a year. It's only his second year, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. It's no different than everybody that says that the next guy's a bust when they change offensive coordinators. But then in the next year, they look better. Now, I didn't say it's the exact same playbook, and now you're putting words in my mouth. I said he helped with that playbook. It can't be the exact same thing because Ben Johnson stayed there 2 years past it. Oh, I'm not saying that. I was the one that tried to convince you that Jared Goff wasn't as bad as you thought. And I'll continue to say that. Is he the guy that's going to get us over the hump? We don't know. But with him investing in the city, by helping to be at the investment firm that's bringing in a WNBA team, it looks like he's here for the long haul, guys. So I expect before the end of the season, you're going to see a restructure because I doubt they pay him $69 million next year. I just don't see it. And it'll all depend on what happens and what they do with the rest of their cap and everything. Because they do have $40 million to roll over to go with the little bit they have. Hey, yeah, Maine is not here. It's Smokin Jeremy B. What's up, Robbie DeFeo? Good to see you, brother. Main event is on vacation. And I have also said any rookie has to be on their third year of playing before you make a decision on if they're a bust or not. Right, he isn't. He said by his third year playing, this will be his second year of playing in the preseason, broski, is my point, is what he said last season. I'm repeating what Dan Campbell said. Don't like it, don't listen. I am doing fantastic, sweating like a whore in church, but it's great. But Taylor Decker returned to the starting O-line today, actually participating in team events. It's huge, huge news for us. And they said it was glorious. A little more solidarity on the O-line. No, I don't think we do. I think the only guy they're interested in is Darius Smith. And now that him and Cashdall broke up, I think that may happen before the season starts, if it happens at all. Brad says he's been in constant contact with them. The ball's in Z's court. So I think he was enjoying his time with Cashdall, and that ended. So we may see it any time now. King SJ, good to see you, brother. How is things in Canada? I switched to a smaller can. But like I said at the beginning of my show Friday at 9 o'clock when we were a couple hours in. Hey, good to see you, Darcy. What up, though? It's week 1. Anybody has a chance. I am on my front porch right here in wonderful Burton, Michigan, just outside of Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Not too bad for the first day at the new job. I'm doing great. Cam Hayward is holding in on the Steelers for more money. Broski, Packers will destroy them. Full goals line. Yeah, we've heard that before. Oh, we got comments coming in already. It's good. But I appreciate it. I just wish more people would hit the link above the video in the description on X so we could see their comments here so I can reply to them. But hey, it is what it is. So the game ended with that injury. And here it is again. And for those who haven't seen it, this was the injury.
Look at his head snap back as it hits the leg of Nathan Carter. And right away, he was spazzing. Everyone's on a knee.
So that was a tense and scary moment, but he's back here at Allen Park. He's fine. Darcy, don't forget about our $100 bet. Lions sweep the division again. Not a chance. Hey, I don't think anybody sweeps the division myself. I think they're going to do the carry 3-8. They're going to carry 3 QBs. One of them might be on the practice squad. But we still have 2 preseason games to see where it's at. I just know that they don't give up in the 3rd year on most of their rookies that they've drafted, unless they're injury prone. James Houston was the first one they gave up on early in the entire tenure. Let's call it for what it is. If you're on the Facebook side, make sure you hit the like. I read all the comments that come from YouTube and Facebook on air live. And we're live at the Huddle Sports Network, Facebook, Twitter. All of those likes help to promote the team, the podcaster that it's going under. I believe in the Twitter we are going into Ken the Bear Fan and Rob Haspel's page as well on Facebook. John, the over-under is week 10. Apparently, if you're taking the under, I'll say this: if the Bears get eliminated from playoff contention and Caleb is floundering, then Bajent goes in. Yeah, Bajent had a decent game. Also, Case Keenum had a really good game. But everybody knows what you got in Case Keenum. A quality backup quarterback. Steve Bauer. Good to see you, brother. Hassanein did have to leave practice early with a lower leg injury. It's undisclosed. I heard it might be a calf injury, like a strain. But he walked off the field under his own power and told everybody he's fine. Most teams will carry 3 QBs because you can bring one up from the practice squad. Don't count. Yeah, only on game day. They can't have them on the active roster. That is correct, John. That rule got moved out where they can carry them on the roster. But Taylor Decker is back playing in the team events, so he's fine. Nate Lynn had a hell of a game. See, and I think you're missing what Dan Campbell said last year. This is his second year playing, not his third. It's third year in the NFL, but it's his second year playing. I disagree. I go with what Dan Campbell said at the end of last preseason. He goes, by his third year playing, keywords, he said, by his third year playing, if he's not a quality backup, that's when they'll move on, which will be year 4 because he didn't get to play his rookie season. Yes, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, Lion King. In the evening. Or Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, excuse me. From 2 to 7. Not there on Mondays. As you can see, I'm right here doing the show for main event. Mike, tonight, who's on vacation? He's 27 this year, broski. That's funny. He'll be 28 in October. Right near my birthday. I love how people make fun of how old he is. And totally misrepresent it. That's funny. I think we're going to be fine at pass rusher myself. But that's just me. And that's whether they keep Davenport or they get sign Zadarius Smith, because I think Zadarius Smith is coming since Cashdell broke up with them over the weekend. That was announced on Instagram. Oh, got connection issues. Here we go. There we go. Got it back. Yes, he does. Lion King, Chi-Town, hometown. I also pull for Hallis Hall. Sorry. Yeah, that's okay. They can, but he hasn't talked to him at all. It is what it is. You guys can say all you want. I'm just telling you what Brad Holmes has said, and the ball's in Zadarius Smith's court. I'm sorry, if I was him and dating Cash Doll, I wouldn't have wanted to go to practice either. That's like Goff deciding if he wants to be on top of his swimsuit edition girl or go to OTAs. I'd be on the swimsuit edition girl. Just me. I'd be more worried about 5 drops in the first half by the Packers wide receivers. It's looking just like they did last season already. In game situation, not in practice. And what was weird, Malik Willis looked better moving the ball. Yeah, one pass each. Great job. Good to point it out. AQM had a decent game this week, had a horrible game the week before, and also has been considered by a lot of coaches to be on the bubble for not even making the team. I just talked about drops in game. Yeah, I know Lovett had a big drop. It was in his hands, and he let somebody strip it out of his hands, and it was counted as an interception. I talked about it on my channel. So, but say I don't. I asked a question about your wide receivers dropping the ball in a game situation. But hey, that's okay. Deflect. I'm okay with it. We lost a game and we won a game. That was the report I saw prior to the game last week, that he's on the bubble. Al-Qadim Muhammad is on the bubble because Nate Lynn and Ukwu and who else? Hassanein are all ahead of him. I'm not crying at all. You're mistaking straining because I was leaning over while I talked for crying. Good job. Deflection again. Oh, I know. If they're going to give it to me, I give it back. Love it or leave it. Yep. It is what it is. See, and this is why I don't go on other shows and talk shit. I talk my stuff on my show and wherever I'm hosting. I'm not a shit talker. I don't do that. I asked a legit question about 5 drops in the first half. We didn't even have 5 incompletions in the first half. That is up in the air. Because lately 75% of the snaps. Thank you, Greg. Good to see you, brother. And yes, Greg can attest that before the game on Friday, in one of the Lions chats, I said Nate Lynn would have a game. That I had him as a sleeper to be the standout this game versus Atlanta. It was bad for the Packers, Jeremy. I think so too. He's taking 75% of the snaps at the 3 right now in the offseason for training camp with the first team. Ratledge had a good game. He was mauling guys. He did give up 1 sack, but it was his first time in action. They wanted to get him some in-game reps. Maybe they'll give him some more in the next game. But I think with it being the joint practices, you probably won't see any of the starters out there. Because, Dan Campbell is adamant that those joint practices are better than the preseason games for the starters. So I leave it at that. Oh, yeah, I loved what Ratledge did. That's what I was saying. He was mauling guys. I seen him moving people in that run game. Like I said, he did give up the 1 sack, which was the strip sack on Hooker, right up the middle. That was on him. Tesla seems like he has a lot of talent, not going to lie. Yes, sir. And I love the way he caught that ball for the touchdown. Yeah, I think he is going to be our right guard. And Campbell even came out and said it right after the show, after I said what he was doing for a week at center and doing a decent job and looking better than he did in OTAs, according to Campbell. I am still doing the writing for for the Motor City Tribune, but I am not. I'm on the press list, but I haven't got it yet. Oh, Ratledge starting at guard for sure. Yes, sir. And Colby Sorsdahl, with him being on the IR, I doubt he's on the roster next season. That experiment is over. Manu's in his second year. We'll see what happens throughout the preseason. He had a good game the week before. He had an okay game this week. He still managed to get almost 50 on PFF, which is the same as an average guard in the NFL or tackle. But it wasn't great. The week before, he had a 63. This week, he had a 50.2. So it looks like he's secure because we're not going to have Sorsdahl anyways. Coyote Awasika was our worst one with a 39.2. I don't think he makes the roster. Yes, he is fine. It's a mild concussion, Megan. It's very good news. It looks like when his head snapped back, that was that whiplash where he, when you get hit with an uppercut and it makes you knock out because you pinch that nerve at the base of your neck. That's what happened to him. So he's just in concussion protocol, but he's already released. He is back at the Lions facility in concussion protocol. Yay, Quinn, good to see you, brother. But that was a scary moment. And I just want to show it because everybody needs to see how scary that moment really was. Listen to what he says.
Look at his head snap back as it hits the leg of Nathan Carter. And right away, he was spazzing. Everyone's on a knee.
Yeah, Tesla. I think he's going to be at least our wide receiver 4. Yeah, it was a whiplash type of injury, and he's already released. It was just like the knockout punch when you get hit with the uppercut. Your head goes back and it snaps on that nerve in the back of your neck that knocks you out. That's what happened. But like I said, he was released from the hospital early Sunday morning and was at the Lions practice facility on Sunday in concussion protocol. So hallelujah, he's there. He has a week. Maurice Norris, number 28. Yeah, it was great. I am very happy to see that he's back. He could be. He could be our wide receiver 3. I know he's going to be at least our wide receiver 4 because I have heard nothing. No problem, Megan. I kept my nose to the grindstone until I got something on him because I know how much you were affected by that on Friday when we talked and I showed the video during that show live. Anytime it's that bad where they actually end the game on an injury, I do think he will play this season. He was a backup special teamer anyways, and with Dan Jackson out for the season, I think our backups will end up Maurice Norris and Ian Kennelly because he's been standing out as well as one of our better defenders, according to PFF, both games. A prediction I made when we signed him. This is Norris's 4th season with the team, I believe. He was a UDFA from 2021. Either that or 19. I can't remember which. I'd have to look it up to be exact, but I know he's been on the team off and on for a while now. I'm just happy the young man didn't ruin his career. I'm happy he didn't get a injury that took him out for life. No, he's just one of those guys that's been on and off the practice squad and rarely on the field, a rotational player. You know, because they rotate those practice squad players, and every team does it. Yes. Yes. We both know why. But I think I'm going to be going live less during live games because it seems like every time I'm live during a game, somebody gets a serious injury. The last time I was live and there was a serious injury during a game was the Monday Night Football game when Damar Hamlin almost died. And now this game, Maurice Norris was getting knocked out enough that it scared everybody to call the game. So that's kind of an omen. I jinx everyone. Hey, I've been live twice during games on my own podcast, and somebody's been hurt both times. I'm never doing it again. I came to that conclusion then. Because I wasn't even able to watch the game because I was live. I was paying attention to the game cast, and all I saw was the time clock wasn't moving yet. And then it started moving, but there was no ball movement, no plays being made. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Yeah, I know. It is. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Enough to call it. Too hot to wear headphones. So I got to put them down here. No, this is my front yard behind me, everybody. I think Sailors has a good chance to be RB4. I think it's going to come down to Netflix or Vaki, and I think they'll keep Vaki due to the cheaper contract. Yeah, because you guys are in the Southern Hemisphere. I know it's your winter time right now while it's our summertime. It's 90 degrees right now with the heat index. The sun is setting. We were supposed to get a thunderstorm. It didn't come through. Looks like it might here in a little while. That's okay. I'm just happy to be this side of the sod and upright for another day. Warming up, but still cold. Yes. I'm going to give you a little station break to tell you who's you're hosting the main event tonight.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Yes, John, I did see that they won the case against the NFL. He can be reinstated as a coach. That means he can take a coaching job. Would love to see that for John Gruden. Congratulations, John, on beating the case. Oh. But as you saw, I played one of my intros. I go live every day at noon, Monday through Friday, unless I have one of those nasty little appointments I got to do. So, how do you guys feel about your preseason so far? How do you feel your team is performing in game situations? We're 1-1. I personally didn't care if we won a preseason game. The last time we went undefeated in the preseason as preseason chumps, just like the Bears. We ended up in the basement, but we had an over season that year. That was 2008. So I'm good with getting the first loss out of the way in the Hall of Fame game against a team that played 30% of their starters. And the very next week, they played a starter again and lost him for the season in Rashawn Slater. That was the Chargers. Love what the Hawks did. A draw is not a win, but it's not a loss. Hopes are high. Yes, I hear you. So far, the season's going exactly what I thought it would be. We had some growing pains. Things are happening. The Lions are learning as they're moving. But now that the first string offensive line is back together, the offense will probably do better. And right now it's sitting at about 85%. I agree. I'm glad they gave him respect because he deserved it. He brought you guys a Super Bowl win. I feel the air cooling. That rain's probably coming soon. I agree, Steve. Reports that Davenport's actually looking healthy for the first time in 3 years of his career. Yeah, that's the only thing you got to worry about, Megan. Without the starters playing and the defense looking good, that means you have great depth. But is your starters as good as what you're seeing from your depth players? Until it gets to the regular season, that's why a lot of the teams have that step back the first couple of weeks. All the starters are getting their feet into game shape. They can say that those joint practices do the job. I'm going to beg to differ. That's your worry. I hear you. Yay, we're GMTA. Great minds think alike. We have the Niners week 1, which is scary, but it's at home. I don't think it's as scary as you think because I think the Niners are washed this year. I think they're going to be lucky to be a 7-win team. I don't see them doing well. No Deebo Samuel. Christian McCaffrey's already hurt, but supposedly he'll be back within the season sometime. But we've seen with Christian McCaffrey out of the lineup and no Deebo Samuel when he's missing two weapons. Brock Purdy isn't so purdy. We saw that last year. The difference is he's going into the season without Deebo. I said they're going to take last. I think it's going to be them and the Cardinals battling for last place. I think it's the Rams and Seahawks at the top. I've said that all along. I do not trust their coach. I do not trust Kyle Scamahan. And yes, I called him Scamahan because he's been scamming checks since he was the offensive coordinator under Dan Quinn with the Falcons. I think Shepard is going to be a lot more aggressive than Glenn. I agree. I don't know about the Rams. Sounds like Stafford might need surgery. If he needs surgery, that's going to set them back. You're absolutely right, John. We'll have to wait and see. I think he's one surgery away from being in the retirement home myself. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Main Event Mike, Main Event's Lion Talk. I hope I've been doing good at answering questions. I don't mind answering questions about other teams and giving my opinions. I've never shied away from that. And I think every team in our division is competing. I think our lowest team will have 8 wins and our highest team will have 12. And I still say it's going to be the Lions with the 12. That's just me. Retirement home is the Commanders. Was for Joe Theismann and Alex Smith, that's for sure. I see 5 games all on the road that look like they're almost unwinnable. And I've announced them since the schedule came out. In week 1, I said it's going to be a close game no matter who wins. I don't see either team blowing each other out because it's the first week of the season and both teams are going to have growing pains with their starters. It's basically an extension of the preseason for the starters, weeks 1 and 2. And we get Green Bay on the road in Lambeau. And then we go right back out and play at Ford Field versus the Bears. We got back-to-back first 2 weeks divisional opponents. And I'm not saying the Bears will beat us, but I'm thinking they might be more competitive with more competent coaching. But I don't trust Caleb Williams. LGBTQB1. Just like I said at the draft. It's what I called him then. It's what I call him now. Matter of fact, I even said the Cardinals, if Kyler Murray plays like he did a few years back, they could be a better team than everybody expects. Yeah, I think they have a better chance at beating us at home when they're home. That's what I think. I think every team has the home field advantage. I don't see us going 0-2. I just don't. Sorry, John, I disagree with you on that one. I think every home team wins their games in our division. I think we're all going to be 3-3. That's just me. Oh, we all do. I want Goff to keep that streak alive. I want him to get his 3rd win versus Mahomes in the NFL. Hey, all I know is that the loudest stadium now is Arrowhead. I hear you. I think the Broncos have a chance to win that division. I think it's coming down to the Chiefs and Broncos, especially with the injury to Rashad Slater and missing him for the with them missing Rashad Slater, I don't think their backup tackle is as good, and I don't think there's a left tackle in free agency that's going to help them to have a competent left tackle to shore up that O-line. And I think that's going to make Justin Herbert struggle. They signed Mike Williams to be the wide receiver too, and he retires just a week before preseason, before the camp start. I think that was a huge blow. Well, they got everything right. They got everything right now. They got a great defense. They got the best offensive line in the division after the injury to Rashad Slater. They've got a good running back tandem with R.J. Harvey and Audric Estime. Audric Esteem is that bowling ball, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of old school throwback running back where he's going to get you that short yardage, and the other guy is RJ Harvey. ACL, he's out for the year. For an offensive tackle that weighs over 300 pounds, that takes longer. Just ask us about Aleem McNeil. He's not slated to be back till almost Thanksgiving. That's a year since his injury. That's what happens when people weigh over 300 pounds. It takes them longer to heal those soft tissue injuries. I have a twisted knee, which twins when you say, yeah, I know. And it takes longer when you weigh more. It's a natural fact. It's not like I'm talking crap here. Malcolm Rodriguez is due back by the end of October. Those are earliest projections, guys. That's not, he will be back. That's their earliest projections. I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been the main event, Lions Talk. Amen. But thank you, everybody, for watching on whatever platform you are. YouTube, Facebook. Porn star Jimmy starting for the Rams, or will it be Bennett? It won't be Jimmy. They cut him. Yes, rehab. I got it. I'd love to beat the Ravens, too. We all would. That's another one, but I don't think we do because it's in Baltimore. But thank you for watching the main event tonight. You guys all have a blessed day. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat, no matter what team you root for. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.